thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule to watch this brief presentation on what we call peace of mind utilizing living benefits. What you'll see in here is a concept that impacts people that you can be passionate about. A smarter, more complete way to save money with higher income, more benefits, and tax-free. How you can protect you and your family from catastrophic events that could cripple you financially. See, today, here's one of the problems. 70% of the population will suffer a critical or chronic illness, such as a heart attack, stroke, or cancer, and live till age 65, but may be financially crippled in the process. See, every year, over 6 million Americans suffer a heart attack, stroke, or cancer. Over 1.2 million Americans suffer a heart attack each and every year. There are 17.6 million Americans alive today that have survived a heart attack. Stroke, every year, almost 800,000 people suffer a stroke, and many end up with permanent disabilities. And 3.5 million new cases a year of cancer, with an average cost of over $146,000 out-of-pocket expense. Over 65% of those expenses are direct and not covered by traditional insurance. Today, 11.7 million people are currently living with cancer. Did you know that 7 out of 10 people who will reach that age of 65 will suffer one of the big three? The good news is, however, the chance of survival is very high. As a matter of fact, 60% of heart attack victims actually survive, 70% for stroke, 87% for breast cancer, 98% for prostate cancer. That's fantastic. The good news is, through innovation and advancements and awareness, people are living and are being able to detect these issues earlier in their lifetime, thus saving their lives. However, are we saving their lives financially in the process? See, as a result, over half of all bankruptcies in this country are due to medical expenses, but 78% of them had health insurance. So what does that tell us? Who's paying the mortgage? Who's paying the car payment? Who's paying tuition for the kids? See, what if you got sick and could not work? Are you protected? It's a serious question, isn't it? Needs serious answers. See, you could protect yourself many different ways by utilizing life insurance. You can buy disability insurance, which if you've ever priced that, it's pretty expensive, but that certainly will cover the need if you are out of work for 6 months or a year due to an illness. You could also buy, with limitation, critical illness policies that actually cover you if you were to get sick, and that provided a small benefit just in case something happened. Of course, you can buy life insurance. And in the old days of life insurance, or the old style life insurance, basically that's a program that you have to die to use, right? So it really should be called death insurance, but nevertheless, it has a vital part in the financial plan for our families. And of course, then this chronic illness. Well, which one do you buy? Well, the reality of it is we really need them all, don't we? But they come with a very expensive cost. So what's the solution? Folks, Freedom Equity Group is the solution. What we're doing is we're building financial freedom for every American family. Our mission is to show every American how to save, grow, and retire all tax-free with living benefits, the ultimate in financial freedom. Here's a question for you. What do you think of when I say life insurance? Well, the number one answer is protection for my family when I die. Meaning you're not included in that picture, you're no longer here, and your family gets a benefit. That's why I say it really should be called death insurance, shouldn't it? Well, what if there was a product that you don't have to die to use, that protects you and your family from financial devastation, solves the issues of critical, chronic, and terminal illness, protects you and your family from market risk without losing the upside potential, provides liquidity without restrictions, all while providing for a tax-free income that you cannot outlive. See, there is. It's called living benefits. Protection against critical illness, which is as many as 16 different things, heart attack, stroke, cancer, namely the big three. A chronic illness if you are unable to perform 2 of the 6 daily living activities or cognitive impaired. And last but not least, terminal illness upon terminal diagnosis 2 years, up to $2 million. All this at no additional cost. See, here's how it works, folks. We call this the critical illness or accelerated living benefits, and there are essentially 3 different triggers that do this. The first one is, what type of illness do you have? Okay? Is it a heart attack, stroke, cancer, renal failure, ALS, blindness, paralysis? There's a lot of different things. You know, for those that remember the Boston Marathon bombing, where 3 people were killed, unfortunately, and there were over 250 people that were maimed in some way. They lost legs, they lost eyesight, they lost hearing, many different things, but they're still alive today, thankfully. However, how are they doing financially? See, the type of illness, all those illnesses would be covered under a critical illness type situation. Of course, now the second one is the severity of the illness. How severe is the illness that was diagnosed? Is it, a minor heart attack? Is it a severe heart attack? Is it stage 1 cancer, stage 3 cancer? It all depends on the severity of the illness and the amount of the benefit, which can be up to $2 million, significant amount of protection for a family. And what I'd like to share with you now is a story called Jessica's Story. And this is a story of a young woman, but you really need to listen closely to this story because no one is exempt from a critical illness. It strikes us at different times of our life, so it's very crucial that we listen.
We found out that we were pregnant with Mason around April 2009. We had been trying for only a couple months, and we finally got a positive pregnancy test. We were very excited. Well, the day we brought our baby Mason home, we had been in the hospital for 3 days, and we packed him up in his teeny tiny little car seat, in his little dinosaur hoodie with his matching beanie. And we were just so excited to start this new adventure, being parents of 2 little boys. Well, it was a crazy day. It was September 26th of 2011. And Mason was 9 months old. And I got a call from the doctor that had done all the tests. And they told me I had infiltrating ductal carcinoma, which to me was a different language. I had no idea what she meant. And so she had to break it down and say, well, Jessica, you have cancer.
I was with her when she received the phone call from the doctor that gave her the results. You know, I knew the conversation wasn't positive. And when she hung up, she looked at me, and as she broke down, she told me she had breast cancer.
You know, I was 30 years old, I was healthy, I had a 9-month-old baby, I was breastfeeding, I had a 2.5-year-old.
You know, you don't expect your child to tell you that they have cancer. You know, it's just not supposed to work that way.
Treatment was the first thing I thought of, how to get rid of this cancer and get it out of my body. I did change my diet, I did do surgery and chemo and radiation, and thank God I did, because I'm here today. Well, we first learned about life insurance through a really close family friend who is an agent. When I started going through treatments, through the chemo and the radiation, my agent came to me and said, look, we might be able to help you out here with your accelerated benefits and get you some money to help pay for medical bills. And he was definitely right. We helped with all of my medical bills, and we really got to focus on me getting better instead of having the heavy burden of financial stress.
Well, I just really never understood the power and flexibility of life insurance until the day that Jessica and Anthony received their living benefits check from National Life. And it just totally changed, you know, their financial outlook.
My motto is live a life you love. So when I first got diagnosed with cancer, my husband Anthony bought 1,000 pink bracelets that said my motto on it, live a life you love. So yes, still wear it today. The more you open your eyes to love and let it flow in your life, the better life is going to be.
I'm just so grateful that Jessica was responsible and got life insurance, that the agent, you know, was generous and sold Jessica this, you know, abundant policy, that National Life had the integrity and came through on their end of the deal, and that God answered all of our prayers.
Well, my advice to people who think they're too young for life insurance is that you're never too young for life insurance. It's not just in case you die, it's to live a life that you love.
What an incredible story, and you can see by Jessica's story that once again, no one is exempt from a critical illness striking their family. What I want to share with you now is the opposite end of the spectrum, which is procrastination. You know, here's an example of a young family of 5 with a couple of businesses. Looked at our program, but weren't ready to make a decision at that time. Not 8 months later, the husband suffered a fatal accident while playing with his kids in the yard and is now presently paralyzed from the neck down and may not fully recover. His family's financial life would have been much different today had they purchased a plan for their family. A very painful lesson in life. So folks, here's a solution we have for you. The good news is there is an old life insurance, and just like medicine, financial products have evolved too. The old life insurance basically did this. Had an income tax-free death benefit. You had to die to get the money. There were no living benefits. So once again, you needed to die to use it. So you may still have that old type of life insurance. What we teach people is how they can get the new life insurance. Of course, it pays a tax-free death benefit when you die, but it also has, at no additional cost, a critical, chronic, and terminal illness component that can pay up to 90% to the family while you're still alive. Living benefits you don't have to die to use. Significant impact on the financial status of families. Folks, I appreciate you taking the time. I know how busy everyone's schedule is. What we're trying to bring to people is peace of mind. I'm asking you to act today. Get back with the person who shared this video with you and find out how you can upgrade to the new program with living benefits. Thank you.